My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Suria. My student number 2022-780-271. Today I want to present our assignment based on the title Application of IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI ITAB in Bank Islam Malaysia. First of all, in new era globalization, the demand of Islamic products have grown increasingly. Various of Islamic product is compliant to the Sharia law, such as musyarakah, mudarabah, murabahah, ijarah, and many more. Riba, gharar, and maisir are prohibited in any activities towards Islamic banks. Al-IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI, or known as ITAB, was established more than 10 years since 1983 to 1994. The idea of Islamic hire purchase became a reality when the scholars introduced new product through reasoning or ijtihad based on traditional Islamic products, namely Ijarah and Al-Bai'. More about explanation about this ITAB will be discussed in the next presenter. Next, we move to the objective of this study. First, to study the definition of Ijarah. Second, to explain the concept of IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI ITAB and its legality. Third, to describe the operation and the process of IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI ITAB. Fourth, to investigate the application provided by BIMB in implementing IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI ITAB. And lastly, to identify the differences of IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI ITAB and leasing in conventional bank. So, let's continue to the definition of Ijarah. Ijarah comes from the Arabic verbs ajara, which means rewarding or recompensing. Literally, Ijarah is derived from the noun al-ajr, which represent compensation, reward, consideration, return or counter value, al-iwad, against the use of an object. From the jurist FIQH definition, Ijarah refers to a concept to utilize a lawful benefit against a consideration. As we can see the slide, Muslim scholars cite various definitions of Ijarah. For example, the Maliki school defines Ijarah as a transfer of ownership of permitted usufruct for a known period in exchange for compensation price. The Hanbali school has described Ijarah as a contract where the subject matter is lawful and defined use manfaah. Corporeal object ain is also lawful and for a specific period of time. The Hanafis define Ijarah as a contract intended to give ownership of a determined and legitimate usufruct, manfaah, of a rented corporeal object ain against a consideration. The Shafi'i's view also define Ijarah as a contract where the subject matter is determined, legitimate, assignable and lawful usufruct of an object against a fixed consideration. So, from the above given definitions, we can understand that Ijarah contract could be characterized as a contract that transfers the usufruct of an item to another person for a specific period in exchange for a specific consideration. It also could be referred to as the renting and leasing of assets.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Saiyidah Syahirah Binti Shamsudin, and today I would like to present to all of you about my topic, which is the legality of Ijarah, pillars and condition of Ijarah, and little bit about background of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad.
Firstly, legality of Ijarah. First, from Al-Quran. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Fa'in arada'na lakum fa'tuhunna ujurahunna. And the meaning, and if they nurse your child, compensate them. Surah At-Talaq verse 6. Next, second, from Hadith. Wa ista'ziru an-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa Abu Bakr rajulan min bani Din thumma min bani Abdi bin Abdi hadiyan haratal furti mahiru bil hidayah. And the meaning, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Abu Bakr hired a skilled guide from Bani Adil, later from Bani Abdu bin Abdi. Next, According to Imam Al-Razi in Kitab Al-Muhadzab, he said that we can use contract ijarah on benefit that allowed in Islam. And lastly, according to Ibn Qudamah, the second jurist which used Kitab Mughni, he is open that ijarah is purchase of benefit, and benefit is same with goods, so it's allowed in Islam.
Next, I would like to talk about pillars of ijarah. There are 6 pillars of ijarah, which are mu'ajir, mu'ajur, mustajir, ujrah, al-manfa'ah and sighah. What is mu'ajir? Mu'ajir is a person who gives something for hire. Example, employer, landlord, owner and lessor. Mustajir is a person who takes on hire, which is lessee, employee, tenant and renter. Next, mu'ajur. Mu'ajur is thing for rent, and al-manfa'ah, the usufruct, which is benefit from the thing, and ujrah. Ujrah is fee or wage given for the payment of rent, and lastly, sighah, which is ijab and qabul, offer and acceptance.
Okay, next, condition of ijarah. First, the condition of property. The property must belong to the lessor and is known and specified to both parties, and the property should be in a good condition for lessee. It is the liability of the lessee to ensure the cleanliness and safety of the property, and the liability of the lessee is under the concept of trust, which is wadiyah yad damana, and the lessee cannot lease the property to another tenant, and the second contract is considered as legitimate. The sale of lease property is legitimate, and the concept of wadiyah is still applied even the lease contract has expired and the lessee is still holding the property. Okay, second condition for sighah. The contract of offer and acceptance must follow all the conditions of the contract sale in Islam. Next, the condition of usufruct. The use of the service, which is usufruct, can be valued with money and must be valued according to Islamic principle law. The lessee should be able to make use of the property on lease, and the usage of the property should be clear to avoid any agreement happen, and the usufruct did not entitle the lessee to own the property. Next, the condition for payment. The amount of payment must be known, and if the payment with goods, it should be specified clearly about quantity, types and characteristics. The payment such as rent can be made in advance. If the payment does not establish to be paid in advance, the payment will begin with when the usufruct started. And the payment should be made at the end of period, either in daily, weekly or monthly, unless stated on the agreement. Lastly, the payment will not require. Next, I will go through with background of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. Why is BIMB? Okay, the 1st of July 1983 is a historic day. It was the year when Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, or simply Bank Islam, was founded. Not only in Malaysia but throughout the Asian region, this day marked the beginning of Islamic banking. Moreover, BIMB assists in the creation of opportunities for their customer and the delivery of value to all of their stakeholders. However, Bank Islam is Malaysia's first Islamic bank and has been instrumental in the creation and growth of the country's Islamic financial industry. Here the vision and mission BIMB. Vision: the bank that advances prosperity for all, and the mission is to provide solutions that deliver value. Lastly, leadership: Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, which is Board of Director Tan Sri Dr. Ismail Haji Bakar as Chairman or Independent Non-Executive Director. And next, Syariah Supervisory Council, which is Professor Dr. Ahmad Hidayat Buang as Chairman. And lastly, Management Team, Muhammad Muazzam Mohammed as Group Chief Executive Officer. So that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzah Binti Abdul Hamid. I will explain about some of the topic from concept of ITAB. Before we enter to another topic, we need to know the meaning of ITAB. So ITAB is an abbreviation of IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI, which means rent then buy. It is a MUAMALAT contract that combines Al-Ijarah, rent, and Al-Bai, sale and purchase. This means that ITAB is a hire purchase facility where the customer can rent a bank asset with an agreed rental payment according to a specific period of time. Then the customer can purchase the asset from the bank at the end of the rental period. Hire purchase in Bank Islam, which use ITAB, is for companies, institutions, cooperative, and associations as a facility to lease assets such as crops and machinery, equipment, cooperative, motor vehicles, and other assets that can be accepted by the bank. As you can see here, the ITAB is bound by Section 21 of the Hire Purchase Act 1967, which means a hire purchase agreement as renting goods with option to purchase or purchase goods in installments. So this is why ITAB is different from the IJARAH Bi'atamli and IJARAH wal Iktina. Because the ITAB term is better known and widely used in Malaysia, especially for the financing of vehicles and other consumer goods. It is indeed that ITAB have similarities to conventional hire purchase due to the absence of a specific act for ITAB, and ITAB also bound by the Hire Purchase Act 1967. However, this act is actually in line with Sharia because it aims to protect tenants and creditors from the irresponsible attitude, because it provides clear procedures, outline the rights and responsibilities of asset owners, tenants, and guarantors, and prescribe legal remedies on claimants and the guilty parties. But although ITAB is being bound by the Act, the restoration of the BNM Sharia Advisory Council 2010 is used as a guide and reference for more accurate ITAB operation.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Adam Farhan bin Shazari. My student number is 2022793671. Today, I will be presenting about the application of ITAB in Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, or also known as BIMB. In BIMB, the product that use this contract is known as IJARAH THUMMA Al BAI or ITAB I, that provide financing of asset using leasing and purchasing contract. This hire purchase product was a combination of two different Sharia contract, which are IJARAH contract and bank contract. The application of ITAB I in BIMB consists of three parties, which are client or customer, seller, and bank. Firstly, the client will approach the seller and identify an asset that he wants to be financed under the ITAB I contract. The asset can be in the form of machines, vehicle, and any other asset that suits the bank to finance. Secondly, the client will request the seller to provide a full information of assets such as the price quotation and any other relevant details regarding the asset. And thirdly, the client will approach the bank for finance and both parties agrees on financing using ITAB I. The client will make promise or wa'ad to leasing the asset for an agreed time period and subsequently purchase it at the end of leasing contract. The next step is the bank will approach the seller and purchase the asset based on the details provided by the client. And after that, the seller will transfer the ownership of asset and deliver it to the bank. And lastly, the bank will lease the asset to the client according to the agreed financing plan, and at the end of the leasing contract, the client will purchase it in order to gain the full ownership of the asset, and that the ITAB I contract has been completed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Binti Shukri. So today I will continue the presentation. I will explain about the differences between ITAB in BIMB and also leasing in conventional bank. Okay, so the first difference of ITAB in BIMB than leasing in conventional bank is in terms of a social acceptance. So ITAB utilized two different contracts. for their financing, so that the customer or the client have a choice either to buy or not the leasing, either to buy or not the product once the lease has ended. Okay, so next is the differences in terms of competitiveness. So ITAB financing become a significant challenger to a conventional bank or traditional hire purchase because it can be handled by anybody, and it should not be confined to financial institution only. Okay, so last but not least, it's all about differences between ITAB and also leasing in conventional bank is in terms of a religion issue. In Malaysia, the Hire Purchase Act 1967 governs both either Islamic and also conventional hire purchase finance. So a separate Islamic Hire Purchase Act, IHPA, is advocated by the majority of Muslims in Malaysia. Moreover, a new Islamic hire purchase law to amending the existing HPA by including some Sharia principle, because the HPA changes still not fulfill the Sharia principle. Okay, so it should be more Islamized and minimize consumer misunderstanding.
As a conclusion, IJARAH contract has special features that can be applied in structuring and developing financing product of Islamic financial institution. This is we can see this from when IJARAH has given birth to a product that replaces the conventional hire purchase, which is full of usury. Although there are still some issues that arise, but efforts toward improvement always need to be carried out by all the parties involved. So the parties need to educate the public about this product, about ITAB, since it's important for Muslims to understand that the Islamic hire purchase contract is different from the conventional hire purchase contract, even though it is still subject to conventional law, namely HPA 1967.
That's all from our groups. Thank you for listening.